So my boyfriend Ben asks me, innocently enough and with good intentions, do I want to go to Elk City for the weekend? I did not want to go to Elk City for the weekend. At this point in my life, I was about 2.5 years sober, and I was struggling. I hadn't done AA or counseling or anything like that. And the way that I had maintained my sobriety was by over-exercising and eating very militantly and overworking. I worked at a tasting room that was owned by a roastery, coffee roasters. And I was managing, and I was working 5 days a week on the ground, and I was also managing in my spare time. And at this point, those routines had served me previously, but I was starting to fray and crumble under the weight of doing so much and trying to hold it together. So when Ben asks me if I want to go to Elk City, I should have said, no, I don't want to go to Elk City. You go ahead. I'll stay here. I'm going to watch Netflix and kiss my cat and eat some ice cream. But instead I said, yes, you may take me to Elk City if I don't have to do anything. So we pack up the car on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and we start driving. And about 4 hours in, it's the first time I think to ask him, what is Elk City? And how far away is it? And he explained that Elk City is a small mining town, a historic mining town in Idaho. And it's 10 hours away. So I was gonna be spending my weekend 20 hours on the road. And when I realized this, darkness descended upon me, and really the entire vehicle. So I was quiet on the outside. I didn't say a word to him for 6 hours. That's such a long time to not speak to somebody in a car. On the inside, I was completely raging. Why the fuck are you taking me to Elk City? Why would you even ask if I want to go to Elk City? Why would you think that I would want to spend 20 hours driving on my 2 days off? You don't know me, you don't respect me, you don't love me, and I'm starting to question my feelings about you too. And I am the absolute worst. I should have said no, I don't want to go to Elk City. Not yes. What is going on in my head? And what's up with camping? Why camping? Who goes camping? Yeah, exactly. But that's when I realized that I'd never been camping sober in my life. You always have plenty of booze when you go camping. And so, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. I'm going through this tirade in my head, and I'm freaking out and thinking about my time in sobriety. And we get to the campsite, and we set up our tent, and we set up the bed and everything. And I'm hoping that the next day, I'm gonna start to feeling better. And we wake up, and I am feeling better. A little bit better. Not great, not good, but definitely better. So I say to him, Ben, I'm sorry about yesterday. I was having a hard time thinking about alcohol, which was not the complete truth, but not a complete lie. It was really all I could think to say. And he gave me an olive branch. And he said, let's go into town and get some coffee, which was an amazing thing to say. That was exactly what I needed to hear. So we went into Elk City, and there were 5 buildings there in the entire town. But much to my surprise, one of them was a gift shop with a sign outside that said espresso. And we went in and we ordered 2 Americanos. And the woman behind the counter, she froze. And she said, does that have espresso in it? And I said, yes, an Americano is hot water and espresso. And she said, I don't know how to use the espresso machine. Let me just text my daughter and she can come here and show me. And as she's texting her daughter, I peek behind her, and there's a little homemade house espresso machine. And then next to it is a bag of coffee from the place that I work at. I had no idea how it got there. It was a local Pacific Northwest place all the way out. And I'm excited for the first time in this whole trip. I can finally be useful. I'm going to teach her how to make espresso. I am going to redeem myself for being shitty the entire ride there. And I was gonna make great cups of coffee for us. And she said, no. My daughter, she's on her way and she's gonna teach me how to make it. What you two should do is go check out the stamp mill in the back room. It's a working replica. And she calls her friend Gladys, and Gladys pops out and she goes, are y'all here to see the stamp mill? And Ben goes, yes, we are. And I go, no, we're not. You go ahead and check out the stamp mill. I'm fine here. And he shrugged and he went into the back room, and I heard her gear up the stamp mill, and it sounded amazing, and I kind of wanted to go back, but I didn't. I was just in a foul place. So I'm walking in the gift shop amongst the raccoon tail hats and the homemade dolls that were super creepy, and I'm staring daggers at this espresso bitch just standing there, like, make my fucking coffee. And her daughter comes in, like 13 years old, and she doesn't say a word. She just rolls her eyes, and she goes and she turns on the machine and she overfills the group head with too much coffee, like twice as much coffee as you need, and she's tamped down way too hard, and she screws it in and she pushes the button and she leaves. And the whole time I'm thinking, wrong, that's wrong. But I don't say anything because I'm a delightful human. And the beads of black oil drip out from the legs one at a time. It's supposed to come out in a nice thick stream. And the lady's standing there and she's looking at me with a smile, and she's looking at the espresso and she's looking at me. And then she pulls the shot glasses and she puts them in a cup, and she goes to the sink and puts on the hot water, and she fills it with hottish warm water. She gives it to me, and I guess because I'm an asshole, I asked her if she had any almond milk. Kind of irredeemable. And she said no. So I said, whatever cream you have is good. She takes out an expired container of non-fat milk, and I sniff it and it's all right, and I pour it in, and I say thank you. And I go outside while Ben is still in the back room, delighted by the stamp mill. I can hear exclamations. And I sit on that front porch, and I took the Americano and I poured it out into the gravel. And when I did that, something shifted in my head, and I realized what a complete shit I was being. And I'm used to being a shit, so I knew what to do. I gave myself a tough love talk and also like a pep talk. It's like a combination, like whatever you need at the time. So I was like, stop being such an asshole. Just because you're in turmoil does not mean you're allowed to be a giant dick to everybody. So just smile. So I tried to smile, because you know, if you smile, it makes you feel better, they say. It triggers something. So I'm on that porch and I'm like miserable, and I'm trying really hard to smile, and I can't. It doesn't feel good. It feels really, really bad. So I stop smiling and I give myself a little bit of a break. It's like, all right, well, just breathe. So I breathe. Don't be like this. And it's at that point that a pickup truck drives by with country music blaring out the windows and an American flag streaming behind it. And from inside the truck, a young man with no sleeves on his shirt leans out and says, "Smile!" And as he's driving away, I look over at him and I say, "Fuck yourself!" And from behind me, Ben and those two ladies are standing there with their mouths open. And I just get up and I tell the lady, "Thank you for the coffee. I'm sorry." Ben and I get in the car and we drive 10 hours home. Thank you.